You're tuned in to How's It Relate to Life with Garry Bikes, where we discuss everything from technology to life. So sit back, get your favorite piece of technology, and let's enjoy the show. I'm excited to be here. My name is Garry, and I am a videographer slash photographer slash consultant, and I love to help people walk in their purpose. That is my goal in life. I'm passionate about helping the next generation of content creators find their place, but also walk their life in a way that is that's good. Like live a good life, not just live to make money, not just live to be famous, not just live to be the next fad or hit, but to actually know how to live life. Like pay their bills on time and know how to make good choices in school, in life, and in business, even. So that's going to be something you can expect from this particular podcast. We're going to be talking about everything that has to do with life, with technology, and how they might relate. So it's the new year, 2019, and I was talking with some friends, and they were talking about um, expecting the unexpected this year, and I wanted to share a little bit about that with you guys. I'm intrigued by the statement because I really never thought about it, and I was planning to approach this year just like I did last year and keep it moving. And one thing that stands out, though, is that last year, my wife and I, we made plans and they were all of a sudden seemingly interrupted. Something we didn't expect happened. The first month of the year, my wife's mom had 3 brain aneurysms, and it literally sent every plan we had out the window because we wanted to make sure we took care of our mom. And we did that after weeks being in a coma, not knowing if she was going to live, if she was going to die, after months of being in the hospital and in and out of facilities and things like that. She's now at home. We are grateful, but the whole year went by and we got very little done, seemingly that we thought we had planned for. But when I look back over the year, it was this unbelievable story of triumph and hope and faith and love and growth and pain and hurts and disappointments and everything else in between. And a lot of stuff actually did get done. I can't believe it when I think about it, but there was a lot of landmarks, a lot of things that my wife and I accomplished that we wanted to accomplish. We just didn't accomplish them the way that we thought we would, and so it was a little odd. But I'm grateful for the last year, and maybe your year ended up like mine, to where you thought you were going to be doing things a different way, and it happens. Things go on that we don't expect. For me, it feels like interruptions at times, but I'm grateful for when I look back on it and look at what I learned and think about what I learned. I learned how to love better. I learned how to make better choices. I learned that everybody doesn't think the same way that I think. I learned that when people are hurt or confused or in pain, we make different choices, So I'm grateful for learning that, and it helps me for this year. It helps me prepare for how to handle and approach the same. If the same thing happened this year, I know I'm a different person to handle it in a different way that I believe would be better. So all that to say, um, you know, life can be that way. Life can be that way, but also we run into that in our jobs and our careers with photography and videography, especially. I know I make plans to do video shoots, and when I get there, nothing is the way I expected it to be. The lighting isn't right. The setup isn't right. The sun isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing in my eyes, and so forth. So we have to make different choices while we're there in the midst of it. And when it's all over, we still get a good end product. It just wasn't the way we planned for it. The Bible, there's an interesting verse that I read that's very interesting, that relates to this to me. It's in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9. It says, "We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps." And I can look at my last year and I can say that I definitely made my plans. And I don't think it's a bad thing to make plans. My wife and I, every year, we make plans for the new year. We don't make resolutions, but we make plans. A lot of people make resolutions, and resolutions to me are meant to be broken. Plans are meant to be followed. So I don't recommend New Year's resolutions. They usually lead to disappointments, but a plan is something that you make some steps that are realistic, that you can actually follow, that you can accomplish, because plans are meant to be accomplished and fulfilled and established. So my wife and I, every year, we do that. And I'm excited about our plans for this year, but you might be in a place where your plans last year didn't work out, so you're willing to just give up on making plans. And I want to encourage you to know that just because your plans didn't go the way that you thought they should, the Bible says that the Lord directs our steps. And I'm going to quote that again. It says, we can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. And that's the New Living Translation. So for me, I can look back and I can understand how what my plans were didn't necessarily include what the Lord was determined to help me learn, which was how to love through those tough situations, how to be a family through those tough situations. So I'm grateful for it. But had I had the opportunity to plan it, I wouldn't have never planned it that way. I never would have thought to do it that way. But I'm grateful that I got to experience it because He knew what I needed. The Lord knew what I needed. So I learned it and I got it. And I'm grateful to move forward with this newfound understanding of how to relate and how to love. So for you this year, don't give up on making plans. Make your plans. But make sure you understand that sometimes you got to be prepared to expect the unexpected. The way that you make your plan is the way that you see it. But sometimes God sees things a little bit different and He wants to accomplish something different in your life. It doesn't mean that you made a bad plan. It just means that He's going to determine the steps you take to get to your plan and His plan at the same time. Because He's perfect in all His ways. We're not. So He knows where the flaws are in our plans. The things that we think are so realistic and so easily done, and things that are some people make stretch goals, some people make insignificant goals or small little goals that really are easy to achieve whether they made the goal or not. Others make them so big that they're unable to be accomplished. So we have to understand that we're not perfect. We don't know it all, and God knows more, and I'm convinced of that. So this year we're gonna make our plans. This year we're gonna expect the unexpected, and this year I'm gonna allow God to determine my steps, just like I did last year. This year I'm gonna have a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more understanding, and I hope the same is for you. Like I said, it's a lot like when you go to a situation and it's not what you expected, but when it's all said and done, you can look back and say, okay, things worked out better, and you might have learned how to make better choices in the midst of, if that happens again, you got a better plan through that circumstance or through that situation. So until next time, I'm Gary. Keep on making plans. Keep on living your best life and making the best choices. Thank you.